Calorie deficits don't work. Tracking calories ruins your relationship with food. You become obsessive. And all you ever hear is calorie deficit everywhere, and it feels like it's gonna drive you mad because it's never worked for you. So in this video, I'm gonna cover the main reason why this is. Then I'm gonna tell you the exact steps that you can put into place to feel confident in your weekly diet, have no stress whatsoever. Then you can easily drop into a deficit and lose weight should you wish. But before we get into anything, hello, my name is Ailish and I'm the founder of the Wellness Club Coaching. We are a women's online lifestyle transformation coaching service. Try and say that 10 times fast. We focus on sustainable results, not quick fixes, not a magic pill that's going to fix anything, but just building a really strong foundation for you and your life, building a lifestyle that you enjoy and that you're going to maintain so that your results maintain. So I've been doing this for years. I've got a food science degree, a nutrition master's, I'm a nutritionist, and obviously I know a lot about health and fitness, but that isn't why I am good at what I do. It's because I get you and I understand you and I know what you struggle with. Because put a gun to your head and you know what to do. Technically, you know that technically a calorie deficit should work, but it's your priorities, your limiting beliefs, your fear of failure, and your lack of a clear plan that I'm an expert in and can help you overcome. So if you're struggling with any of those things, this video is going to be a treat for you. And if you want some more information on the Wellness Club, I'll pop it in the description too. I am going to sit down and get comfy, but I just need to show you my outfit. So I'm currently pregnant, but I got some Alpha Elite leggings and an Alpha Elite top because honestly they've done as well my whole life, but like I had to get 2 sizes bigger in the bra because the popping out, you know. And then the leggings, I've got 1 size up, and I did also buy 2 sizes up just for when the bump gets bigger. And yeah, I've got to yank them all the way up, but you know what, I feel really cute and this is really comfy, but I'm going to put a jumper on and I'm going to get comfy and I'm going to chat to you. Okie dokie, so let's get into why calorie deficits do not work. To summarize the reason why into one sentence, it's because you skip a step. And then to elaborate, you go from where you are without building a routine, without building consistency, without building a foundation, and think you can just pick up really difficult habits that should lead to weight loss, that should lead to a calorie deficit. So you're going from an initial stress of how you feel, uncomfortableness in where you're at, to a stress of pain and putting yourself into a really painful, uncomfortable position with your diet and your routine to try and get results. So yeah, the reason that calorie deficits don't work is because you are skipping a step somewhere. That could be fully going from stress to stress, or it could be something in the middle that you haven't built. So to use a common example that I say all the time, you see a photo of yourself that you do not like. It makes you feel not good. Your arms, maybe, the way that your clothes are fitting. Later, so obviously that breaks down how you're feeling a little bit. You're like, oh God, I wish I hadn't seen that. Sit down later, you're watching the telly, and then you notice your like stomach rolls above your pants and you're literally just like, holy guacamole, I need to do something about this right now because I feel so disgusting in myself, in my body, that if it doesn't change by tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You get this almighty boost of motivation because of the deep discomfort that you're in, and you're like, right, okay, shopping list, 4 workouts next week, calorie deficit, let's go. Because you need to lose the uncomfortableness, you need to lose the weight as soon as possible. And then like usually it's fine for a week, 2 weeks, a month even, but then social occasions, injury, or just even life happens, which throws you off plan because maybe you miss a workout or you have a meal out, but that breaks your confidence down. And you're feeling weak-willed, you're like, why can't I do this? Which slowly turns into like, should I even work out? What's the point? Why am I even trying? This was always destined to fail. And this is a cycle that gets experienced multiple times over and over again. But if we reframe this into a different circumstance, it would be like starting a job with no training. That would be really hard. Or like matching with somebody on Tinder and in your first message say, hi, so when are we moving in? Would be a little bit weird if somebody did that there. Or like even going for a driving test without having taken any lessons. Now, I love you and I care about you genuinely, even though I don't know you and you're like, that's a little bit weird. I don't care what you think of this. I've got a passion in life, and it's like feeling good. It's like living a healthy lifestyle where I feel amazing and I help other people feel amazing. And that is nice and happy and vibes, but I am going to be a tiny little bit mean just for a second. I just really want to drill it into you right now how much it frustrates me when you do this, when you feel so horribly about yourself and then you do something so extreme. It frustrates me that you get frustrated because you're literally attempting the impossible. So why are you getting frustrated when it is impossible and you know that it's impossible in the first place? And I find this difficult to say, but like, you are showing such little respect. Like, you are disrespecting so much what it takes to be healthy. Like, you have so little respect for the amount of dedication and the amount of thought and time and effort and just trial and error that it takes to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle, that you think you can just swan in and be perfect. In what other circumstance do you think that you could do that? Is it because you see other people find it easy? So if you take one thing away from this video, it could be possibly to like reframe your mindset and just really respect exercise and diet and healthy lifestyles, because they are really hard to kind of get everything in motion, to get everything in place. Once you're living it, it is easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I find my life very easy, but the initial effort and the amount of time that everything took to get to this place, the amount of failures that I had along the way, I was just humbled and humbled and humbled, and I accepted that. And that's how I ended up getting to a place where I am, where I help other women do it. Anyway, I'm back to nice girl Eilish. No more hard truths. I don't like that. And if we summarize, you go from 0 to 100. And that's why you fail. It would never work for me. It would never work for you. It's never going to work for anybody. I'm just going to quickly draw a visual representation as well of why calorie deficits don't work when you do not put your routine into place first. This diagram is not very good. So here we have week 1, 2, 3, and 4 steps and then workouts. You can see the little wibbledy-bibbledy line of like energy expenditure going up, down, left, right. That's not consistent. So a calorie deficit is not really going to work. And here is the calorie deficit below. Calories going down, down, up because you got too hungry, then down again, or whatever plans you've got on. And you can see there's no consistency here. It's never going to work because you're burning a different amount of energy every week and you're eating a different amount of food every week. This is simply why your calorie deficit doesn't work. And I am going to go into the rest of the video, but honestly, you can stop watching after this because this is essentially all you need to do. Spend the first couple of weeks, 1 week, if it takes you 1 week, 4 weeks, 10 weeks, I don't know. Spend that time building from where you are to where you want to be. This is going from 1 to 3 workouts and 5 to 9,000 steps. As an example, there's so many other things you can be doing. You can see there that your energy expenditure, sorry, my microphone's going over here. Let me hold it like this. Your energy expenditure is increasing and it's going to be consistent. So we are building up. When it's consistent, because every single week you're doing 3 workouts and 9,000 steps, it is a consistent trend. So if you take your calories and you drop them, you're going to be in a deficit, and the deficit's going to be consistent and you're going to see weight loss. Build a consistent routine first. Obviously, these are just random numbers. Now you can leave if you want after that. Bye. If that's all you need. But I am going to go into depth on how exactly to overcome all of the steps that are involved in overcoming the struggle and actually achieving a calorie deficit, it working for you, it being sustainable, your results being fantastic, amazing, and maintaining. So yeah, let's dig into how to overcome. Firstly, we're gonna build a routine. I've just shown you how to build a routine there. That looks at your starting point and it slowly increases over time. Now, your issue is usually you're going from 0 workouts to 4, or you're doubling it, or whatever you might be doing. You need to build in your mind the psychological proof that doing 1 workout is actually great. It's fantastic. It's a success. So if you slowly build up and you have a few good weeks where you feel productive and you feel like, you know what, I can actually take on a little bit more because you're doing less than you think you could be doing, you know, this is so essential for when it gets harder down the line, because no matter how consistent you are and motivated and in routine you are, you're going to have times where you're level has to drop. You have to drop a workout, or you have to drop a walk, or you have to drop something, and your mindset is gonna absolutely smash to smithereens if you're okay with nothing other than perfect. Whereas if you are building up from the ground up and you're like, one workout is actually perfect, 2 workouts perfect, 3 workouts, honestly, you need to stop right there, because my ego is about to explode all the way up to wherever you want to be, so that when it comes round to a week that's hard and you can only achieve 2 workouts, you're like, I did a bloody good job that week. And it keeps you motivated and it keeps you consistent. And as you know, consistency is key for progress. What do you need to do to lose fat, to lose weight? What does that look like? Where are you right now? You're not going to go from here to here. You need to build up from here to here. So give yourself a time frame to do that in. And then building on top of the routine there, we need to be consistent. So I just mentioned about being okay with doing less than you think, like being okay with it dropping down, because consistency is key. And when it comes to consistency, I'm going to give you my example here, my personal example, because you just saw my beautiful pregnant belly there. First trimester Ailish, she was a bit tired. I was lying on the sofa. I was eating loads of food. I went from working out 4 strength sessions a week to 0. And I did a gym class instead once a week. That's all I could manage. And I was barely getting out on walks. The sofa was my bestie. Do you know what? And I loved that time. I loved it. I watched so much Netflix. It was great. And then in January, when I was out of the first trimester and I was feeling better, do you know what I did? I just went straight back to the gym and I just did 4 strength sessions straight away. It was so easy. I was like, well, I was already doing that a couple of months ago, so I'm just going to do it again. That was a lie. I've just lied to you. That's not how it freaking works. Obviously, I'd been out of the game for about 6 to 8 weeks. And honestly, I was also just very beaten down and a little bit disheartened. And I was like, bloody hell, like, what am I capable of now? Like, I'd love to be capable of what I was capable of, but like, what am I capable of? So what I did in that month was I set myself a goal of a daily walk. No pressure, no steps, no nothing. The consistency of getting out bloody side and just going on a 1-minute walk. Didn't matter if it was an hour or a minute. The daily walk, that's all I needed to do. I got 30 days of consistency in that. And then in my mind, I've got this amazing kind of voice of like, wow, actually, do you know, like you can walk every day. Maybe you could reach to a step goal. And then I went from 1 gym class to 2 gym classes to 3 in the span of 1 month, and I built up. And I think there was a week where I only managed 1 again, and I didn't feel like, oh, do you know what, like I'm a failure, I'm gonna give up. I was like, you know what, 1 got us here, 1's good enough. And then the next week I was completely back to it. Now we're in March. I'm strength training twice a week, doing 1 gym class, and I'm doing about 10 to 12,000 steps a day. So it took us from the start of January to the end of February to kind of get back to where I was. I'm not interested in doing 4 strength training sessions at the moment. I'm not going to lie to you. I much prefer the gym classes, but I'm strength training just because I want to have a strong body for birth and postpartum. But that's my example to you there. Respect how hard it is and just give yourself 1 or 2 months. I probably could have pushed myself a little bit harder if I wanted to, but I didn't. And I'm here. I'm in routine. Are you? No offense. I'm sorry. The big one is diet, and I really don't want to delve into this too much because I just want to kind of maybe go in a different perspective that you might not know. You know that you need to hit a certain calorie target to be in a deficit. You know that you need to hit a certain amount of protein, that you should be eating balanced, you should be eating healthy, you should be eating consistently, you should be eating breakfast. You know all of these things that you should be doing. So are you doing them? Like, if you rated your diet confidence on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you lie in the ranking? Do you sit and think about your diet? Like, do you plan ahead? Do you know what's coming up in your week? Do you know how to have high volume, low calorie, high protein meals that keep you full, so maintaining a deficit is quite easy? And are you confident in tracking? Like, do you have a good relationship with that? Can you build a good relationship with that? Because if all of those things have been looked after and you've spent 1 month, 1 year, however long, becoming an expert in your own diet, a calorie target is the easiest thing in the world to hit. I'm literally not lying, but you know what's not easy is building up to that. It's building the habits. Being in a calorie deficit is very, very easy. If you're in a consistent routine and your diet is amazing and you feel amazing, that calorie goal is like nothing. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. You wouldn't even know you are in a deficit until like towards the end you get a little bit of hunger, but like, you know, you've already done it for like like 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. Like, what's a little hunger for a couple of weeks? But again, just to bring back the 0 to 100, you don't do any of that, and then you just try and squeeze what you're currently doing into that calorie target and get very, very stressed and end up in the cycle over and over again. It's a lot of initial groundwork. You've just got to stick with it. And you obviously need to get into the gym and be progressively overloading in the gym and strength training in the gym. For optimal physical change, we need to be strength training. It's optimal for longevity, joints, for bone health, for everything. Strength training is just, like, that is why I am strength training twice a week now in my pregnancy, so that I am as strong as possible to go through what I'm about to go through and to give myself the best opportunity of recovery on the other side so that I can thrive. And so I've just spoke about everything that you need to do to overcome the fact that calorie deficits don't work. And I'm about to mention the hardest part. And the hardest part is that you have to do all of those things I've listed without anything in return from your body. You cannot expect or want anything in return from your body for getting into routine, for getting your diet in order, and for going to the gym. You cannot expect a change in your body for building healthy habits. And I know this is really hard, but healthy habits don't mean weight loss, but you need to get this consistency of everything in place before you can actually push. And like I showed you in this very fun little diagram, once your activity and your diet and everything is consistent, you can then drop yourself into a deficit, you can push, you can turn the dial, you can freaking go for it, and you will see progress. To be honest, most people making these changes will probably see some progress, but if you are looking for the metric of the scale and that's the only thing that you are measuring your progress of, you are like setting yourself up for failure, and you know that now, and I'm telling you now, and if you do it again, like, it's on you because you know that this is the way that it works. Get consistent, drop into a deficit. I've got you. So instead of thinking, I need to drop 5 kilograms in a month or 10 kilograms in 2 months or whatever it might be, think about in 6 months or in 12 months, who am I going to be? What am I going to achieve? Because if you gave yourself 3 months, no physical change, no nothing, just 3 months of building the most hot ass, bitch ass, amazing ass routine in the whole wide world that you got so consistent in, the second that you turn the dial, your results are going to come so fast and you're going to find it so easy because you've got that consistent routine in place and you're happy to do it without any gratification for your body, which means that when you've finished your journey of fat loss, if that's what you're going on, and you get to the results part, you're going to find it so easy to maintain your results because you don't need anything from your body in return. Honestly, like I said, you know what to do. It's all just in your mindset and how you are envisioning the journey. And before I leave you, I'm going to quickly rattle through 6 other reasons why calorie deficits don't work or might not have worked for you. That might not be the example that I've already went through. 1, because going extreme backfires and you might have went into an extreme calorie deficit. Your hunger and cravings are going to skyrocket if you aren't allowed enough food in your body to feel nourished, let alone enjoy the food that you usually have, and you restrict that food. Additionally, if you are not in a good routine and you massively restrict your diet, you are going to have hormonal shifts of ghrelin and leptin, your hunger and fullness hormones, which are just going to make your hunger and fullness cues a little bit more difficult to deal with for like months in the future. Obviously, your energy levels are going to absolutely like bottom out if you aren't putting anything into your body, so you're going to feel like crap. And then on top of that, metabolic adaptation as well. So like if you go extreme, you're only giving your body a little bit of fuel, so it's trying to save itself and operate off only having a little bit of fuel. So you'll notice that you need to go lower and lower and lower and lower to lose weight, when if you focus on building up a nice good routine, fueling yourself, getting consistent, getting active, the fuel that your body needs to operate is so high, so then you can just take a little bit off, and then it's so easy to be in a deficit. The second thing we're going to cover is that it's a little bit more than calories in versus calories out. As I've said, pop yourself in a deficit, you will lose weight for like the vast majority of us, unless we had a rare health condition which would lead to that not happening for us. Your sleep and stress levels play a huge role. Your general daily activity, if you lead a very sedentary lifestyle, that's going to play a huge role. Both of these things together can impact your hormones as well. So a bunch of things just to do with your like lifestyle, your general lifestyle. If you aren't kind of optimizing for a healthy lifestyle, it's going to make it a little bit harder for you as well. So that's why I prioritize a healthy, sustainable routine first, because if you have that in place and you're consistent with it, you go into a healthy deficit, healthy diet, you're not losing weight, you've got a lot of proof that you can take to a doctor and say, hey, I am actually doing everything right, it's not working. It could be something a little bit more serious that you need treatment for. Whereas if you just keep hammering in and going hard and being like, it's definitely the hormones, without having tried to build the healthy routine first, it could keep getting you stuck. And then just a little extra onto like calories in versus calories out and like a calorie deficit, like it's a little bit outdated, or like it's not like good enough for, it's not nuanced. Thanks, Alicia's brain, thank you for that. Because in like, yeah, it's easy in simple terms. Move more, eat less, you'll lose weight. Doesn't take into account real life struggles and your behavior, which you have been developing over the past couple of decades. Doesn't cover stress, emotional eating, societal pressure. It also doesn't take into account the quality of food that you're consuming, or your exercise, your strength, your muscle mass. So this is why, again, I talk about building a healthy routine to kind of mitigate a lot of these things. Your routine being flexible, because working a demanding job, having very little time to yourself, and in the time you do have for yourself, you don't really want to be like working hard or like thinking really hard and just think, oh well, I'm not even going to do anything at all. I'm just going to watch the TV, because it is quite like I liked watching Netflix when I was in my little energy diminished era, but like it's easier and it does recharge your batteries in a sense, but like if you're feeling terrible for doing that long term, it's obviously not the best thing for you. Anyways, so you are so pulled left, right and center from everything. It is impossible for you to kind of train 4, 5, 6 times a week, to walk for 12,000 steps a day, to do X, Y and Z with your diet. That is impossible. So you are never going to achieve that. But what you can do is you can start building up a very small foundation that you probably think is pointless. What's the point in doing one workout a week? Well, let us tell you. And that is, it's going to help, like I said, build that positive mindset, build that like, do you know what, right? That was a good week and I did that. It's going to give you a boost of motivation, and it's going to start slowly changing your lifestyle so that eating less and moving more does become easier. And actually, you might get to it no matter how many projects you've got going on, how many things you've got going on in your life. You have found it easy to prioritize your wellness, your health, your exercise, your diet, without sacrificing anything else, without sacrificing your work, without sacrificing your social life. You have slowly changed that over time. So it's nuanced, because it's not that simple, but to get there is a lot of trial and error, and it's a lot of just trusting yourself, really trusting the process. Oh god, I'm gonna let you go soon. Like, you're probably literally sick of hearing this, but you underestimate how much you can achieve in a long time period, and you overestimate what you can achieve in a short time period. For some reason, you are only looking 4 weeks ahead, 8 weeks ahead, 12 weeks ahead. And I know the reason why that is. I say for some reason, because it's easy for me to look ahead. I'm already planning a half Ironman for like a couple of years time. I can see that far ahead, and I know what I need to do now to like achieve that. So like, stretch your goals further, because honestly, you're not really getting anything done in 4 weeks or 8 weeks. Sorry, like, you're not really gonna get like much, nothing of real, like nothing really tangible that you can see and you can feel. But like, I've just explained to you how I went from 0 to 100 more or less in 2 months with my routine. In a short period of time, you can do a lot, but it's maybe not what you're looking for, So it's just kind of think about the short term and the long term, and what you're using as a metric to success in both of those. And finally, the secret to people who maintain their results: they're focusing on the routines, they're focusing on the habits, they're focusing on their lifestyle, and they're not focusing on numbers. Because most people who can maintain their physique year round in a gorgeous, happy, healthy body that they love, in a gorgeous, happy, healthy routine that they love, they're not really tracking the calories unless they're in a deficit, and they're not really that obsessed about any kind of like how often they go to the gym, how often they're going on walks. It's just, they are walking like pretty much every day. They are going to the gym a handful of times a week. They are eating healthy meals that they would eat regardless. Like, it's their lifestyle. So that's how you're going to get long-term results, by just building a lifestyle. The camera is overheating and it's going to kick us off in a second. So I'm done. I'm literally done. Subscribe if you haven't already, because like, I would like that. It would help my subscriber count. Only if you're going to watch my videos. Don't subscribe and then never watch a video again. Maybe leave a comment for the algorithm, or like the video. Some people dislike my videos and I'm like, have an opinion, that's fine, but it's rude though, and I respect it, but like, I don't like it particularly. I feel uncomfortable talking about like the truth, but like, I hope that this resonated at the very least, and I don't hope you feel motivated, because motivation's a little bit, I hope you feel ready to like get a little bit uncomfortable for 4 to 8 to 12 weeks to build a routine that's going to make you feel sexy, and come back to us in 3 months and 6 months and 12 months and be like, thanks, Ailish. I'd like that. I'll be waiting. I will be. But the chances are you might just go away and like push hard for like a few weeks and then continue that cycle. That would make us sad. So please don't come back and tell us that, because I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. Come back and then work with us, because I'll help that not happen again. But thank you so much for watching the video and listening to my jibber jabber. Yeah, I'm here. I'm living my life. I hope that you are too. Do you like my lipstick? It's a very nice, isn't it? I'm just going to show you the combo that I've got. It's Huda Beauty. I've got two, a pink and like a nudie colour. And then I've got this kind of like honey lip gloss on top, because I'm in my lips era, and I like it. So thank you so much. Have a gorgeous rest of whatever the hell you're doing right now. See you later.